Hey everybody, it's Lumi. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. So sometimes when we do daily routines, we either waste a lot of time or we skip a lot of things that are actually really important for a daily routine. So in this video today, I'm going to show you a perfect daily routine that you should do every single day when you log into Genshin. So obviously the first thing that you should always do is check your handbook and go to commissions and see if you completed your commissions or not. So as you can see here, I already did all my commissions for today and I already claimed the daily rewards. I'm just gonna go over this super briefly, so the first way I recommend to do daily commissions is to either craft your resin or just spend it on some type of boss. So the best way I usually do these daily commissions, instead of actually doing these purple icons that you see all over the map, you could actually just consume 120 resin for you to be able to get 4 of the points. It is so much faster than as if you did all of them. And another reason why this is really recommended is if you just do the purple icons but then you actually don't consume your resin, then what's gonna happen is there's an event called To Temper Thyself and Journey Far, and if you have any character you can actually get extra constellations for them. If you do what I told and just spend 120 resin every day for 5 out of the 7 days, then you could collect one of these circles and then soon it's gonna bring you up to the constellation where you could claim it, and it is really good overall. So I definitely recommend doing that because you are saving a lot of primo gems by getting a free 5-star, and also you are saving a bunch of time. So the next tip is actually claiming the daily commissions. And I know this sounds super ironic, but this is because I actually forgot to claim daily commissions a lot of times, so that is really important. I know that it's only 20 primos, but if you do it every day, then it could pile up, which could determine whether you're going to get that next 5-star or not. So that's why it's really important to try and collect every single primo gem, especially if you're free to play like me, because every primo gem counts into whether you're going to get that next 5-star or not. So yeah. So another tip I recommend is while you're claiming your daily commissions, go to dispatch characters on expeditions, and once your characters are done, then you could claim it and then dispatch them again. And another reason why I find this so beneficial is the next day when you log in, then it is already going to be done, and this is really good for resources because although this doesn't look like much, it can pile up super quickly and you won't have to farm much materials. So for example, if I go to my minerals, I have a bunch of these. I have 1,653 crystal chunks, for example. I literally never touched a single rock. What I did was I always used these expeditions and I always claimed it. Most of the time I usually do the rock ones, so that can pile up really quickly because I get a bunch of resources every day without even having to touch anything, which is really beneficial for me because I don't have to do extra work grinding rocks when I could just incorporate this into my daily routine. And you should definitely do that too if you ever need any resources, because I used to neglect these all the time, and if I could go back I would definitely use this all the time. It is so beneficial, especially if you're really into cooking. There is so much cooking supplies that you could use, which I really recommend. So you could get like a bunch of food resources and also a bunch of minerals if you need any. You could also get Mora, but I don't recommend doing that actually, because if you go here, you will see Mora ley lines, and that is the next thing that I'm going to be talking about is resin management, or what you need to spend your resin on. So as you see the commissions, you need to spend 120 resin, but then you might be confused and then you don't really know what to spend your resin on. So I will help you decide on what to spend your resin on. So level 80 is pretty good, so I don't think I need to level that up. But then when we go to weapon, it's only level 20, so check out my resin guide video if you haven't. But what I really recommend is you start with the weapon first. So for example, I could extend it And if I don't have resources, then that is definitely another thing that you should do. Spend your resources if you have any unleveled weapons that are beneficial for main characters that you use. And also the next thing is talents. For example, I could get her burst higher, obviously, and she's one of the main characters that I use, so it would definitely be suggested. So for example, let's say I didn't have enough talent books, I could spend all my resin on that. And for example, Sitlali is also main character, but her skill is only level 6 and her burst is only level 3. So if I do have resin, instead I should be spending it on the talent books instead of doing artifacts. Artifacts are usually last after all your characters are perfectly built, because obviously there's always room for artifacts. If you want a more detailed guide, definitely check out my video on how to spend resin. So that's usually what most people do every time they have like 5 minutes on Genshin. But if I do have extra time, some extra tips is if you have extra time, you could go do some extra stuff. For example, you could check the events bar and see what's happening. So for example, a new event just came, and before I was checking this and I already did everything. So it's good to check like everything that you need to do. Maybe I'll do like an extra domain run or like focus on a character a little bit more if I have some extra time. Also, another thing that I would do is sometimes I usually check my Serenity pod or my Miliastral Wonderland. And sometimes I might also do like TCG. I might do like some other things that Genshin offers. So just like an extra few things. So next tip is if you even have more time than that, then you could start doing the weekly stuff. Also, another thing on the resin is if you need more Mora or more books, what I would definitely recommend is either doing the Mora ley line or the Hero's Wit ley line. So this is completely optional, but the next tip I like to do is do some kind of cozy wind down. So for example, I might just explore a bit or just like view Genshin scenery, because I am a really big fan for exploring. Obviously not everything has to be super efficient. And also I just want to let you guys know that it's really important to take care of yourself, and enjoying the game is obviously the most important part. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I do have a Ko-Fi page if you do want to check that out. It would really be appreciated if you could donate. Every single dollar counts. And as always, stay safe, and I hope you have a good day. Bye bye!